My dear ladies and gentlemen, are you interested in learning about spirituality and mysticism? Do you want to find out how you can become more enlightened, more confident in your decisions, and more in tune with reality, all the while being less distracted by nonsense? If so, then you have come to a right place. My name is Layla Oresme, and I am here to guide you. The soul seems to appear as a common theme in almost all religions and spiritual practices around the world. But what really is this mysterious thing? According to the philosophy of Neoplatonism, there is a single supreme principle out of which everything unfolds. This principle is what we call God, or the One. God always remains perfect, and thus it is unchangeable. It is completely ineffable and indescribable. Because God is the greatest good, it is also the source of true beauty. Consequently, the more distant things are from God, the less beautiful and more imperfect they become. The soul descends from God into matter, and its job is to essentially return back to God. It is a natural cycle of existence. Though plants and animals are believed to have souls too, the human beings have what is called in Neoplatonic terms the rational soul. The soul is the true essence of what we really are. It is the divine spark of God within us all. It exists outside of time and is utterly immortal. The soul is separate to all the manifestations of the body, mind, feelings. This includes all of the biological, neurological, and hormonal systems that exist within the body, mind, feelings. The body, mind, feelings is a concept which I describe in detail in my previous video. I will link the link to that video below. The soul descends from God into the earth for the purpose of learning. It gets incarnated into the body which is assigned to it at birth. No incarnation is accidental, and we are always dealt the cards which we deserve. This means that no matter our circumstances at birth, we are always given what our soul truly needs in order to learn. Note that the soul often will choose a very difficult incarnation in order to advance itself. Just like the gold is tried in the oven, so the soul is tried by pain. This may be a difficult concept to grasp, especially when looking at it from the perspective of the body, mind, feelings. The body, mind, feelings is not the soul, and therefore it doesn't know the full totality of life and reality. Throughout its life, the soul must undergo training in form of life experiences. These life experiences vary from joyful and uplifting to very depressive and tough. Each soul starts its evolution at the bottom, starting with a young soul, which will often be not very much aware of itself. These young souls will often very heavily identify with the body, mind, feelings. As the soul learns, it gets more awareness of itself and becomes more aware of the gap between itself and the body, mind, feelings. Throughout this journey, the soul attains different levels of awareness, which are also called different spiritual stations. At its highest stations, the soul is mature and is fully aware of its separateness from the body, mind, feelings. At this point, the soul takes control of the body, mind, feelings, and it is precisely there where true wisdom can be attained. Some people walking this earth are extremely old souls. Despite perhaps a youthful appearance, they will appear very wise and very knowledgeable. On the other hand, there are those young baby souls which may often be found in an elderly body. These souls will not be very mature and won't often have a lot to say. One could argue that the way to become an immortal is through simply identifying with one's own soul. We often identify with the body, mind, feelings, and this is where things get tough. When we identify with the soul, we identify with the immortal aspect of ourselves. This is what gives us strength and vitality for life. When we act out from our souls instead of the body, mind, feelings, we become agents of God. This is because the true motives of the soul are basically the will of God. The body, mind, feelings has a very short lifespan comparatively to the soul, which is immortal. This is the precise reason for reincarnation. It is simply impossible to learn all there is to learn in just one single lifespan. Richard Abbott, my teacher and author of many books, including Soul Strong, which I will link in the description below, explains the soul in a beautiful analogy. The soul is like a light bulb. The lamp, along with the lampshade, the wiring and its plug, is what the body, mind, feelings is to the soul. The electricity which gives the light bulb its light is God. In that sense, the soul acts as an intermediary between humans and God. Of course, all of the parts of the lamp are crucial for the light bulb to work. It is therefore crucial to understand the importance of the body, mind, feelings, but we should never place it above the soul and God. The degree to which the soul can fully realize itself is determined by the condition of the body, mind, feelings, as well as its capacity. The capacity will depend on the wattage of the bulb, i.e. the state or the type of a soul. Not that not all light bulbs are the same. Some are dimmer than others, some are bigger and some are smaller. They are all simply unique, and they all have a specific role in the play of the cosmos. When the soul is illuminated, everything becomes clear. The soul is the essential intelligence of the self. It is what gives us our vitality and life force. It is what drives us to do what we must do and essentially brings us back to the One. The soul is a place in which the knowledge of God and the universal laws and principles can be found. Every soul, though absolutely unique, has its own specific mission that it must accomplish on the journey back to the One. Through this journey towards truth, God can experience himself through his own creation. And as the old saying goes, from God we have come, and to God we shall return. But the real question is, what actions will we take along our journey? My dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. See you in the next video.